All right, amazing line. And I particularly like what he plays over the turnaround at the end and the last couple notes that he does to wrap up the solo. Has a really interesting effect. And he's actually doing this over the tune Ceora. This is from an album from last year, actually. I believe it's a Robin Eubanks solo album, but he does some standards on it, which is cool. And Robin Eubanks is an incredible trombone player. He's actually the first trombone player that I ever saw live when I was getting into jazz in high school. So, always been a huge fan of his. And this is going to be over the 2-5-1 to A flat major. So we start with our middle finger on D flat on the third string, which is the flatted third of the B flat. And then your pinky is going to go to F on the fifth string, 8th fret. Then middle finger goes to A flat on the next string. Then pointer finger goes to C on the third string. So we start on the flat third, and then if you look at these next three notes, it's really just an F minor arpeggio. So if you play a minor arpeggio off of the fifth of the chord you're on, so we're on B flat minor, F is the fifth. If you play a minor arpeggio, it gives you the fifth, the flatted seventh, and the ninth. So then after that, we pick E flat on the third string with our pinky, and then pull off to C. And then pick middle finger on D flat, and then your ring finger is going to jump down to E on the fifth string, your 7th fret of the 5th string. So that's a really colorful note. So you go. So when you land on that, that's going to be the flatted 9th of the next chord, E flat 7, right? So he's going to it a little bit early. He's anticipating it, but a really colorful note to kind of, lay out that dominant flat 9 sound. And then, this is cool. So what we do right here is our pointer finger is going to go on G flat on the second string, and then you hammer on and pull back off from G flat to A flat with your ring finger. Then ring finger goes to E on the third string, middle finger on E flat, and then pointer finger on D flat. So if you look at that, if you look at those 5 notes, it's like D flat minor, right? 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, 5, D flat. So some people would probably interpret that as like thinking like D flat Dorian over your E flat 7 chord, which is something that you can do. Like you might have seen chords before, like D flat minor over E flat, which you would call that like a D or an E flat dominant 7 sus flat 9. So to get a dominant 7 flat 9 sound over your 5 chord, go a whole step below the root and play Dorian. So in this case we have E flat 7, so we go down a whole step and we play D flat Dorian. Or you can do melodic minor. And that's all over like an E flat dominant chord. So either Dorian or melodic minor both give you a slightly different sound depending on what you're going for. So that explains that line right there that he plays over the E flat 7 chord, or D flat Dorian. So far we have. All right, now here's this little turnaround lick, which is really cool. So right there, we're on our A flat major chord now. So you start with your pointer finger on B on the third string and hammer on to C with your middle. Twice. And then pick E flat on the second string. Okay, and then your middle finger goes back to C on the third string and pull off to B. And then back to E flat on the second string. So that's the first part. And then we're going to jump up to 6th position. And you do like this pointer finger on A flat, hammer on to B flat with your ring, and then middle finger on A natural, and hammer on to B flat again. So, and then you go to D flat on the next string with slightly after. So, and that, if you listen to that, it's kind of loosely based off of that pattern. I don't know exactly how to play it, but it's like. Something like that. I'm not sure what that's from. I've heard that a bunch of times, but I'm not sure what it's from. Let me know in the comments if you know where that's coming from, because I've heard that a bunch. But it sounds, very similar to that. cool how he's doing it with triplets, though. It gives it a really cool effect. And now here's my favorite part. So at this point, when we hit this D flat note, we're on the B flat minor chord, and he goes like this. Pick E flat with your ring finger on the 3rd string, pull off to D flat, and then pick B flat on the string below. So. And then you go like this. Pointer finger on A flat, slide down a fret to G, and then pick B flat, pick G, and then go down to D. So that's my favorite part right there. So we'll get into what's going on there specifically, but that's a really cool way to wrap up the solo. So we have. Okay, so if you look at these 3 notes, it's like a G minor arpeggio. And the chord that we're resolving to is A flat major 7, right? The 1 chord. So a lot of times what people will do to get a cool sort of Lydian sound is whatever the 1 chord is, right? A flat, you go down a half 7, play a minor arpeggio, which is what he's doing here. And in this case, it's really cool because the way he plays the notes is B flat, G, D. So when he lands on the G, he's landing on that sharp 11 to give it that Lydian sound. And it's particularly cool where he's doing it because he's playing trombone, which is naturally, you know, a lower pitched instrument. So the range that he's getting it all the way down here creates this really cool dark, kind of dark sound, because typically, you know, an instrument would most likely play it on the higher octave, but because of the nature of the trombone, we're hearing it in this lower octave, which I really love. It's a really interesting sound. So all together now we have. So a lot of really cool stuff going on. We have that flat 9 that he targets to get to the E flat 7 chord. We have the D flat minor sound over E flat 7 to get that sus flat 9. Then we have this triplet, that little cool triplet thing over the turnaround, and then the way it wraps up with the G minor arpeggio to target the A flat major sound. All right, so tons of great stuff. So one more time. All right, that's the episode for this week. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys at the next episode.